Omanyabla.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Time with Her Royal Majesty Queen Vickylextar Beatrice Okangsoa. My name is Lady Stephanie Mongosimo, and I am the Royal Publisher and Director of Royal Events for Manye Royal Kingdom. And today we're going to have the opportunity to discuss with Her Royal Majesty regarding the International Day for Elimination of Racial Discrimination. Your Royal Majesty, good evening. The International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination is really an opportunity for us to think about our journey towards racial equality. And today we'd like to hear about your experience because you've lived in so many places across the globe. And we'd like to hear on what has shaped your views on racial equality.
Thank you. When it comes to talking about elimination of racism, taking one day to acknowledge that it is a very big, bold statement to make in one day because this is a very deep-rooted issue. When it comes to global inequality or racial inequality, it's not just a moral issue, but it's a very great impediment to creating a sustainable future where we're able to work together. Racism has taken place in so many shapes and forms. You look at the slave trade of the Africans, you look at things that happened with Asians, the Jews, and all that. There's been a lot that has happened in the past, all because one race felt more superior to the other. A lot of times it's out of ignorance and really sheer wickedness to another human being. At the end of the day, if you cut me or an Asian or white, the color of the blood is the same.
Absolutely.
It is about the core of who we are. And I have faced racism in different ways. The subtle ones that you can't actually point out and spell it out that it's racism, and then the overt ones. My children have even been beaten in school for being black because at that time we're the only blacks in that town and come home with literally with blood in their clothes for being black. And so I've experienced both extremes of racism. But it takes you coming to that point of understanding indeed who you are. That's where it starts. Understanding your value, understanding the importance of the next person. That even though we are different colors, we are one people. We may have different views and different backgrounds. Even the same color, we have different backgrounds, different cultures. So we'll have differences. It's to appreciate the differences. If you have a garden, they all have one color. It may not necessarily be what is a standard, but the different colors make a beautiful blend, and you're able to admire. And I see the same way with the colors of different people. But it takes maturity, it takes understanding, indeed, and being healed from what has been done to you, and to be able to walk in that confidence that indeed, if the next person to me is a different color, regardless of what another person's same color has done to me, it does not necessarily transcend to the next person to make a general racial discrimination.
Absolutely, and I can solely say that having had the opportunity to spend some time with you, I can definitely see how your behavior and how you walk in love towards all human beings that surround you has impacted me personally, and I can see how you really are sharing that with everyone and impacting lives. We had the opportunity during our trip to Ghana in 2023 to visit Cape Coast. It's a very historic place, and you made such a poignant speech about the importance of acknowledging our history, but also looking forward and walking in unity. And I would like to know, based on your experiences, what are the most effective strategies to overcome those barriers that we often face in dealing with history? People would be looking at our history as so important in moving forward, and it's basically a stumbling block in moving forward for them. What would you recommend?
Especially today as well, where there's a lot of information, a lot of things are coming out more, and how the colonizers really suppressed a lot of history, a lot of evidence, and people are realizing how much more damage or cruelty was dealt with our people. Absolutely. It's important that we acknowledge these truths. Even education, we've been miseducated. A lot of things they put in our history books are different from the reality. Now, with this information coming out, without the right support to deal with it, it breeds anger. So my suggestion is that much as we are coming to this place of enlightenment and want the world to know the truth, it's really important that we start with self first, because we don't want history to destroy our present and future. We want to learn from history and create a better future. So in Ghana, we have this symbol called Sankofa, right? It talks about back to the roots, but it's also about learning from the history from the things of the past and creating a better future for
Mm-hmm.
humanity. So it starts with education, it starts with self-healing, it starts with understanding that just because someone did evil to you, don't give them that power still today
Mm-hmm.
to destroy your very personality, your very self, the very core of your being, because that's what we allow them to do each time we go into that anger mode, that we're not able to actually excel the way we're supposed to excel.
It's a different take on forgiveness, really. It's a very important aspect.
Yeah. And a lot of times when it comes to forgiveness, people think the forgiveness is because the other person deserves it or it's for their benefit. No. Like you've probably heard it said before, like, unforgiveness is like poison. Drinking poison and hoping that your abuser will die. It doesn't work that way. You end up destroying your life. So when we understand again the power within us to be able to rise, and we're able to do great exploits.
Wow, that's amazing. As a member of Omania, it's a multicultural kingdom. It's a multiracial kingdom. And within the kingdom, we absolutely live in a great cohesion. What would you say is, in your opinion, the biggest advantage to that diversity within Omani?
The biggest advantage really is the fact that it means you can reach any community. We are not afraid to be with the whites, with the Asians, with the blacks, to know that if there's help needed anywhere, we have people within us to be able to go. And because a lot of what we do as well is conflict resolution. It works. We have been through it, and we didn't just have this facade thing. We worked on deep issues to get to where we are, right, to understand. So we're able to then teach by example and bring people in that same. There are countries that are very diverse. Like when we went to Suriname the other time, it was like, wow, there are the blacks, the Asians, the this, the that. And so how can a group like Omani help if you're only one race? If you're multi, you're able to now bring groups like that together without offending any, because they see, each person sees themselves in your group.
And I've heard you many times say that when you're working with people, you're bound to step on each other's toes, basically. And I love this example that you give where when you're going somewhere and it's a very diverse place, because having worked together on stepping on each other's toes and overcoming it, we're so much more equipped to going elsewhere and doing the same. So thank you very much, Your Majesty.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. This was the end of our episode. And please, if you're watching this, feel free to enter any question you may have in the comment section, and we'll be happy to provide a response as soon as possible. Sa, Omani Habla.
Yeah.